All right, so the Super Eagles 28-man list has been finally released by the NFF, and in this video, we're going to take a look at these players. Before we get into this video though, please make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you very much. First, we're going to start with the goalkeepers. Daniel Akpeyi, Kaiser Chiefs, was the goalkeeper at the last AFCON. Played in the CAF Champions League finals not too long ago. A goalkeeper of good pedigree. Not a fan favorite, but he makes the list as the first goalkeeper. Francis Uzoho, AS Ammonia, Cyprus. I feel like he should be at a better club right now. He's a real good goalkeeper. Got injured against Brazil in the friendly match, and that really hurt his career. But good to see him on the list, and hopefully we get to see him in the tournament. Next is John Noble, Ayamba. Just a ridiculous selection. Whoever made that selection should be conked on the top of the head. What is John Noble doing there? He doesn't even play for Ayamba right now. You got a goalkeeper that's already there, Ojo Alerleke, who's been taking every snap at the games, which have not been that many, I must add. Like 3 games they've played. So where are you getting John Noble's name from? Next, you have Maduka Okoye, Sparta Rotterdam, Netherlands. Does pretty good for his club side, but if I'm being honest, when he plays for the national team, he doesn't make too many one-on-one saves. We need the goalkeeper to bail the defense out. Sometimes we're not gonna always be perfect, so I just feel like he has not made enough saves really in the national team. That's just my one critique. Next is the defenders. William Truce Ekong, Watford, England. He has been hot and off for both the national team and Watford this season. I've watched the game that he didn't put any foot wrong, and I've watched the game that he was probably the cause of every single goal I saw. And that's just me being honest. I really do like Ekong, but he really has a lot to prove at this tournament. If he does get to start matches, he is the captain, the on-field captain of the squad. So let's see. Hopefully he comes in and does his thing. Next is Kenneth Omoru, CD Leganes in Spain, 2nd division Spain. Getting relegated really hurt him when you talk about the national team, because that's just an automatic losing your position. Because anyhow, you're in the 2nd division, and there's not much you can say when they say, look, you're in the 2nd division, he's in the 1st. And that's just it. And that's where we've been right now, hoping Leganes can get promoted back into La Liga. I feel Kenneth Omoru can still participate. He can still contribute to the team. So let's just see. Next, you have Leon Balogun, Rangers FC of Scotland. Great defender. Just like Truce Ekong, hot and cold for the national team, has made mistakes leading to goals. Really has been stronger than Ekong though, didn't make that many mistakes. Has been pretty solid. I do feel like maybe once in a while Ross should have benched one of them just to get them back on their feet. It was kind of like they were untouchable as long as they played at their clubs, and that kind of hurt the national team at times. And next you have Shehu Abdullahi, AC Ammonia, Cyprus. This is another selection that I'm against. I feel like, what are we doing here? Are we saying the national team is for the best players, or the national team is for the players you like? Because when you see the list, you start Watford, Leganes, Rangers, AC Ammonia, Cyprus does not fit in there, and that's just the fact. I mean, even Turkey coming up next with Chidozie Awazim, that's not that good, but it's that much better than Cyprus, and that's just why I don't feel like he should be on the list. It's nothing against Shehu Abdullahi, but it's just the fact that, look, you play in Cyprus, man. You should be playing in a better league if you want to be on the national team. I feel like that selection is flawed. And yes, Francis Uzoho plays for the same club, but at the same time, he's a goalkeeper. And we do know that in Europe, the black goalkeepers don't always play for the top clubs. So we can understand why Francis Uzoho is playing for Ammonia in Cyprus instead of a club in La Liga where he came from. But that same reasoning doesn't work with Shehu Abdullahi. Chidozie Awazim, a good selection. I spoke about him being in Turkey already. Alanyaspor. Out of all the defenders, I must say he's the strongest, even when he's at right back or at central defense, in my opinion. And you have Jamilu Collins, CD Paderborn of Germany. He has been starting for the national team as of late. Maybe with Raw leaving, that situation might be relooked at by the new coach, Augustin Eguavon. But what I can say, he's been starting, and he has not been doing that poorly either. He's been doing pretty good for the national team. So let's see how it goes. And speaking of competition, you have Ola Aina Torino. What a graceful player. How can you forget his assist to Odion Igalo in the last AFCON? I feel like this is another player that has not been treated fairly in the national team. Every other day he is getting benched, and you can't really point out what he's doing wrong. So I hope he's gonna be treated fairly in this AFCON, because this is a player with great talent, and I feel it is being misused in the national team so far. Next up, we have Zaidu Sanusi, FC Porto. He has been benched lately for Jamilu Collins. I feel like he made some mistakes defensively for the team. I feel like it was kind of justified for Raw to bench him. I think it was a situation he was trying to wake him up with the benching, but it ended up being Jamilu Collins playing so well, and we moved on like that. But I still do believe Zaidu Sanusi is a great player. He's a player that has a lot to develop on. He's a young player, and let's see how it goes with his career, but I'm not writing him off or anything like that. Next is my man Olisa Onda, Aqua United, former Aqua United player, now with Orlando Pirates of South Africa. I was just excited to see his name on this list. I mean, just a great surprise for me. I mean, that's a testament for the work he has put in going to South Africa, putting up good performances for Orlando Pirates, and here we have it. He has been selected as one of the defenders. Will he make the team? I don't know about that, but I mean, this is a good look right here. He has a chance to go there and fight, and who knows what can happen. And let's see. And next we have the midfielders, starting with the world-class Wilfred Ndidi, Leicester City's own. When you talk about Leicester City, you have to talk about Wilfred Ndidi. Yes, we know you have the Jamie Vardys, the James Madisons, even new players coming up now like Harvey Barnes, a real good young player that I like. But when you talk about Leicester City, you have to talk about Wilfred Ndidi. This is a player that's really needed for his club. They're going to really miss him as he goes to the AFCON, but we're not complaining. Glad that he's going to be there. Hopefully he puts up great performances like he should at the AFCON. And next is kind of a surprise, but a player that a lot of people have been clamoring for, Kelechi Nwakali. Yes, Kelechi Nwakali finally on the Super Eagles, finally with the big boys, the captain of the 2015 Under-17, the Golden Ball winner in that competition. A lot was expected of him. He has not really delivered that, but I can't blame him. This is a young man that went to Arsenal and it didn't work out for him. You can't blame that on him. No work permit. He doesn't control that, and he goes on loan, and these are clubs that know this player belongs to somebody. They're not buying him, so he just has to move from here to here, from post to pillar, and it was just a real bad thing for his career. Now he's in Spain. Now he's in Huesca. He went on loan last season to a lower division club. Huesca ended up in the lower division from La Liga anyways, so he is with them. He has been pretty solid for his club this season, especially as of late. And I actually read something that the player that plays in the pivot, a position that people are actually expecting Kelechi Nwakali to come and compete for, got injured. So Kelechi Nwakali right now has been playing in the pivot, and that's a good thing, because if he comes to the national team, he can actually, who knows, play with a guy like Wilfred Ndidi and bring that creativity that we say we've been lacking. And next we have Chidera Ajuke. Chidera Ajuke, really a winger, really plays on the right or the left, but right here is a midfielder. I watched the interview with the current coach, Augustin Eguavon, and he was raving about the Juke, and he actually said that he would like to see him behind the striker. So who knows, maybe that could happen this time. Just throwing that out there. Next you have Frank the Tank Onyeka. formerly of Midtjylland, now playing for Brentford in England. Has been putting up some solid performances. Has not been playing 90 minutes every game. The coach has really been substituting between him and another player, but he's been getting solid minutes, been performing pretty good for Brentford. So yeah, the problem with Frank Onyeka and the national team is playing him with a player like Wilfred Ndidi just kind of takes away from the creativity of the side. He's a player that can hold the midfield as the workhorse himself, and while Wilfred Ndidi is the ultimate workhorse, so it doesn't work out that well. And so in this tournament, he's more likely going to be a backup to Wilfred Ndidi. I don't know, but let's see how that goes. He has not been playing much as a starter when Wilfred Ndidi has been around, so that's why I'm throwing that out there. But next up is Joe Aribo, Rangers of Scotland. Been performing, been going ham in Scotland, been doing some good things. Man of the match, back to back to back. His performances for the Super Eagles have improved lately. He's been showing that he can really keep up with the strength of the African game, and he's been throwing himself around. And next we have the forwards, Ahmed Musa. This is more like a senior man pick. Kind of a situation where he's gonna be like the non-playing captain of the side. That's what I'm thinking. You have a guy like Augustin Iguavon who has gone through that situation before with having an on-field captain and an off-field captain, so I'm sure he's gonna work that out somehow, and let's see how it goes. Next is Moses Simon, Nantes of France. He's been doing pretty good in Nantes, but when he plays for the Super Eagles, let's be honest, Simon Moses has not been the Simon Moses you see in France. He has not been doing that well for the Super Eagles. Next up, we have Odion Ighalo, Al Shabab, Saudi Arabia. This has been a big debate lately. I stayed out of it. At the end of the day, Odion Ighalo is a quality player, and that cannot be taken away from him. The fact that Newcastle is actually looking at him kind of makes it more interesting that he's on the list right now, because if he goes to Newcastle, that kind of takes away the, oh, he's an old guy playing in Saudi Arabia. If he goes to Newcastle, like, that's a Premier League player, and that's that. And next you have Taiwo Awoniyi, Union Berlin of Germany. He has been doing pretty good. I think he has scored 9 goals this season. Doing pretty good for his club, both in the Bundesliga and the Conference League. So yeah, this is a player that's bringing good form into the competition, and hopefully he carries it into the tournament if he's selected. And next you have Alex Iwobi, Everton. Alex Iwobi not been performing his best, to be honest, this season. Probably one of his worst seasons yet. He's been scoring goals, but his performance has not been so constant, and there's been complaints coming out of his club. But Alex Iwobi always, somehow finds his way when he comes with the Super Eagles. And I'm expecting that same Alex Iwobi, a real skillful player who scores goals when he plays for Nigeria. I don't know what they do with his club, but over here, the guy scores goals, and I'm happy with that. Next, you have Victor Osimhen. So happy that he came back from injury. There's been a few debates going around lately. Should he come back? Should he not? My thing is, if he's playing for Napoli, he should play for the Super Eagles. If he's not going to play for Napoli, then he shouldn't play for the Super Eagles. That's it. We shouldn't even have any conversation about if he plays for Napoli, the next day he needs to fly to the AFCON. That's all I have to say about that situation. He has said himself that he's ready for the AFCON. People are saying the club has the final say. Yeah, they have the final say, but let's just see how it goes. I mean, I don't think that it's right for you to make a player not go to a tournament if you were going to use them anyways. I mean, this is an injury that occurred under your watch. It didn't occur with the Super Eagles, so the Super Eagles don't have anything to do with it. If you're not going to let them borrow the mask to come play, let us know now so we know how we can come up with a mask. Talk to Nike, see if they can come up with a mask. They can just give it to us, because we need Victor Osimhen. We're not going to just allow that situation to go like that. Talking about, oh, he might not. No, there's no he might not. If he plays against Juventus, he better come to the AFCON, and that's it. And next we have Sadiq Umar. This is a good striker, y'all. This is a guy that has missed some assignments, some national team assignments, and it's just been ridiculous because I just don't understand it. He always gets that call up, but he always misses it through injury or something else. So this time he gets the call up to the 28-man squad. Man, he played for the 2016 Olympic squad, but the Sadiq Umar you knew then is way different from the Sadiq Umar you know now. It's like that little brother that grew up and now he beats you up. So you can't even look at him wrong, because Sadiq Umar, the boy, plays ball in Spain. And next you have Kelechi Senior Man Iheanacho, Leicester City. Been real sad for Kelechi Iheanacho this season. Through no fault of his, he has been left on the bench. Started the season pretty good, but his coach going back to the 4-3-3 has ended him back on the bench. Harvey Barnes has been doing his thing this season, and that's kind of been making it hard for Kelechi Iheanacho to come back into the team since they changed the whole entire system. And that's why he's really been on the bench this season, not through any fault of his. And next you have Samuel Chukwueze, Villarreal player. Samuel Chukwueze, really a special player in my opinion. Nice left foot, great dribbler, silky moves. You know, this guy has it all in that position, and I'm just happy he's gonna be at the AFCON full health. I mean, he's not been playing regularly for his club. They've been easing him back from injury, and plus while you're out, you got other players who are performing, so you got to beat those guys out of your position again. So that's why he has been playing on limited time. But the AFCON is a good chance for him to let the world know who Samuel Chukwueze is again. Last but not least, Emmanuel Dennis, Watford. Without Emmanuel Dennis, Watford would already be relegated probably. He's been doing so much for them with goals, with assists. And yeah, this is a great reward for the hard work he has put in this season with his club. I mean, he should have made the team at least once or twice in the last couple of games, but that's not how it worked. And now he finally gets his chance. Hopefully he makes the final 23. I tell you, some people are not going to be wanting him to make the final 23. Watford fans, because they need this guy. This guy has been their everything this season so far. So yeah, that's the final player on the 28-man list. I think the players are for the most part good. Now you have Augustin Eguavon with the hard job of making the final decision. I hope that it's going to be a healthy decision. None of that other funny stuff in it. Just a nice decision. Pick the 23 best players for you, and let's see how we go from there. So thank y'all for watching. Peace.